Well, hey, good people. How we doing this morning? Time to get it popping on this FOMC day. Let's see what the market offered us yesterday. If anybody was watching, you saw that tech got slaughtered yesterday. We'll call it slaughtered because that's what it felt like. Even though, you see opportunities and then you can't really take advantage because you're not in the position to take advantage and be able to watch. Yesterday was one that needed to be watched. Or watch this. When you're trading, you got to be watching. It's midweek. It definitely feels like it is much longer than Wednesday. My week feels like it's been really loaded, probably because there's too many things going on, too many things in my brain that are happening, and I feel like it's been a long week and it's only Wednesday. So I'll drink my cafe latte. I'm not sure if y'all can see my thing. My cafe latte Premier Protein. It has enough, the same caffeine as 1 cup of coffee. And it's got enough protein to replace the meal. So that's what we need. We need dual purpose foods. So that Premier Protein, that cafe latte. I get them from Sam's. Y'all know me. I'll go find a link and put it in the chat and be like, order it from Amazon. Order it from Amazon. Anyway, this is Triple Q yesterday. This is what Triple Q did yesterday. This big monster red candle yesterday. It did hit a bottom and then start to wick back up and started coming back up. Let me see if I can get a shorter time frame so we can actually see what yesterday looked like. I think I want more like a 30-minute. We'll be able to see what yesterday did. But boy, oh boy, you see it falling and you're like, this is good. I did get a little bit because I was getting ready to go teach. I got a little bit up in here. But then when it hit a support area up in here, I closed my trade. It was more like 10 something. I closed mine and then it fell some more. And I was gone by then. This might have been, what time is this, 11? No, I teach at 10:50. So I would have paused mine right in here. Probably when this pulled back on this candle here, about 10:30. Right in here, I would have closed my trade. And then it dropped right back through the zone. And then this monster 15-minute candle just kept, and it's kind of consolidated for a minute, dropped on down. But when you're in motion and transport, you and moving like driving, can't necessarily watch all this stuff unless you're trying to be, on the side of the road. And I wasn't trying to be like on the side of the road or hurt or otherwise. I needed to get to school. Yeah, it definitely just kept dropping. It did get down here to what's this S3. It got down to S3. I cannot even see what that number is. 455 looks like. I think that's 455. And then it recovered from there and kind of danced around there a bit. Went back down, tested that 455 level again, and then ran up from there. So in the pre-market, we're actually at 466, looks like. I don't know why my glasses are not working. I find that if I'm really tired, my eyes don't recover in the morning. It's like they don't want to do right in the morning. So a lot of this stuff looks blurry, even though I'm wearing my glasses. Okay. Well, let's look real quick to see who had earnings. Hey, Miss Barbara. Hey, Tanya. How y'all doing this morning? How y'all doing, Miss Barbara? I hope you got some of that Triple Q money. I hope you got a little bit of that yesterday. Miss Barbara's been hanging out in Impact too. Hanging out over there with the Impact dudes. JT, who is one of the leaders of Impact, he went 0 for 2 yesterday, and he wasn't too keen on that because JT always makes good calls. He had Apple, but Apple started falling, and then he had I forgot the other one. Tesla, maybe? I wasn't in either one of those. I was watching the Triple Q because what's her name? Kendra does a really good job of trading the Triple Q and SPY. So she's definitely one to follow if you're hanging out in Impact. She puts on small accounts. So she'll say, triple Q puts or calls or whatever, and they're all, in a reasonable price. They're not expensive. So people can follow along. If you want to do one contract, two contracts, she's really good with calling out those directions. And she's over in Impact. Another lady trader. Yes. Shout out to Kendra Nicole. Okay, so looking at the earnings chart today. Last night or yesterday we had AMD, and from what I understand, AMD knocked it out the park. Knocked it out the park. Microsoft, on the other hand, not so much. From what I saw after market. And I don't know what they've done after the announcement call was made, but AMD looked like it had a plus 8%, and Microsoft, like as they say, fell off the bone. I don't know what happened with Starbucks or any of these others from yesterday. This morning, though, we have Boeing, Norwegian, Cruise Lines. We've got Wingstop, Kraft Heinz, Altria, Comico or Samico, Generac, Humana, Tiva, and MasterCard. And aftermarket close today, we're going to have Meta, ARM, Qualcomm. I keep wanting to mix them up with Broadcom, but Qualcomm is there. Carvana has earnings today. Lam, Western Digital, Riot, Paycom, Albemarle, and Agnico Eagle. Tomorrow morning, we have Moderna, Canadian Natural, Crocs, ConocoPhillips, Mobileye, Wayfair, SiriusXM, Toyota, Canada Somebody, and Eaton. And then tomorrow after, we have Amazon and Apple, Intel, Coinbase, DraftKings, Marathon, Snap. I'm trying to remember which one of those. Was it Roblox or Snow? Where is Snow? Snow's not on here. Which one of these has earnings coming up? One of the trades I need to make sure I get out of is either Snow or Roblox, because those are the two I'm in for them credit spreads I'm in for this week. Microsoft is too tied to CrowdStrike right now. Hello, Delta Airlines. I know Delta Airlines just has not recovered. And I told y'all the other day that the CEO decided he was going to Paris for the Olympics. In the midst of all this, you going to Paris? All right, that might not be the right optics. I see an earnings thing here. Is this August the 1st, so that's Thursday for Roblox. So Roblox has earnings on Thursday. Let me write that down so I'll remember, which means that's tomorrow, which means I need to get out of my trade today. Today, I need to make sure I'm out. I need to make sure I am out. I don't know if it's Thursday after market or before market. Let's see. What does it say? It doesn't tell you. Anybody know whether Roblox is going to report in the morning or the afternoon? When I looked here on the earnings, I don't see Roblox here. How did I know Roblox had earnings? I knew from some way, but I don't know how I knew. Maybe somebody can help me out and tell me whether Roblox is having earnings before market or after market. Our Adam Mancini numbers, absolutely incredible overnight follow through. Incredible follow through. SPX 53.98 was a key support yesterday as posted with 54.42. Reclaim needed to trigger up to 54.71 plus, and we hit it overnight. Now nearly 100 points from 53.98 long zone. I guess for those who trade futures, the only thing is if you're trading futures, you all day. Some people are like all day in the market or all night in the market. It's like it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, I'm not saying people shouldn't do it, but I just could feel like that would be a lot. Blocky is Thursday. Yes, that's Square. I'm looking for Roblox. RBLX. Roblox. I believe that's what I have. Plan today, we're going to ride the runners. Well, they're going to ride the runners. 54.99, 54. I think that's supposed to be 55.06. Let me see. Yep, that should be 55.06, not 54.06. This should be 54.99, 55.06, right? 55.15 plus it's up next. If 54.99 and 54.71 are the supports. Let me read that again. Plan today, ride the runners, $54.99, $55.06, $55.15 plus is up next. $54.99, $54.71 are your supports. The gap between ES and SPX is around 40. Actually, it's about 38, but it's, close to 40. That's what. And if you're doing XSP, you got 552 on the call credit spread side, 539 on the put credit spread side. So what is the most important thing happening today? What is the most important thing happening today? It is that we've got FOMC incoming. The VIX is at 1662. No shock there with the volatility being as high. Hey, Saida, good morning. 1662 on the VIX. U.S. futures jump as techs rebound on big Fed day. AMD stock rises after earnings beat on chip sales. Fed rate decision on deck. What's in play? Boeing jumps after tapping a new CEO as earnings miss. Oh yeah, so we gonna miss earnings, but we go, try to bait and switch you with a new CEO. Even though we missed it this time, we gonna get a new leader, and that's gonna fix everything. JetBlue's recovery plan is encouraging. Microsoft's Azure cloud growth analysts on why it disappointed. This is too bad. 3 reasons not to buy gas at Costco. One of them is the line is super long. And where I live, the Costco and the Sam's are on the same street. And we, depending on which way you're coming from, we pass by Costco to get to Sam's, and the line for the gas be all the way out in the street. But Sam's gas, even though Sam's got a lot more pumps, Sam's gas lines be crazy too. So it's not like it's only Costco, because Sam's lines are. What I think is interesting is when I'm at Sam's getting gas and I pump it, it feels like it's not really going that fast, right? It's like it take a long time. But then I go to like a regular gas station, like Circle K or somewhere, and the gas, like, it fills up so much faster. And it's probably because there's so many more pumps pulling out of Sam's than there are. If you at the regular gas station, it's like 6 pumps. You at Sam's, it's like 12. I think it's at least 12 pumps at our Sam's. It's at least 12 pumps. That's the double the amount of pumps means the slower gas. Boeing reports wider than expected loss, weaker revenue. I used to work for Boeing. I think y'all knew that. Dow futures up 0.21%. S&P futures up 1.19%. NASDAQ futures up 2%. Oil is green and 10-year bonds are green. Okay, stocks making the biggest moves. Pinterest, Match Group, AMD, and more. Let's look at our calendar for today. This morning before market open, we've got non-farm employment. Let me refresh this because we should have seen the employment cost index. That seems to be a new one. I don't know if I remembered seeing employment cost index before this time. Let me see. That's Wednesday. Put on the big screen. Big. Oh, come on. You didn't want to do right, did you? So it was supposed to be 147. They thought it was coming down, I guess, or thought it was, 147K, and it ended up being 122K. I don't know why this would have been projected at 147, but it's at 122 and it's red. Employment cost index quarter over quarter, 0.9%. Chicago PMI is at 945. That's an orange folder. Interesting. And something that's going to cause volatility is this PMI. Pending home sales, red, 10 o'clock. We got all kind of landmines today. Crude oil inventories, though it shows yellow, it really isn't. 10:30. Federal funds rate and FOMC statement at 2 o'clock. Those are red as well. And FOMC press conference at 2:30. So all day, we got stuff all day, landmines. Now, as a seller, good to know, Abram. As a seller, all this extra volatility, our stuff don't like our extra volatility. Sellers trades don't like all this. So If you've got things going and they're ready to close, go ahead and close them up, because you just don't know what's going to happen as far as what will be the movement after the statement is made this afternoon. So if you have the opportunity to close your stuff, then go ahead and do that. Okay. If you're going to enter anything today for Friday, if you're considering entering today for Friday, I would definitely wait until after 2:30. I would wait till after this press conference. The premiums should still be up, as far as up relative to where they would normally be. The premium should still be up because of the amount of volatility, the amount of implied volatility that's up. So the premium should still be good. Otherwise, you can, of course, wait till Thursday. Wait till Thursday to enter for Friday, or Thursday to enter for next Friday. But if you've got stuff going, keep your eye on the things that are already going and close those things, right? If you're trading as a buyer, you want to be very careful. I made a post this morning on Facebook, and my post basically said, you've got one objective in this trading market, and that is to preserve capital. So you're going to use your capital to make more capital while keeping the capital that you have. So they ain't in the market to lose money. So if watching is a thing that's a real strategy. Watching to see how do things move on FOMC days. So that maybe gives you some indication for later. Some people decide they're not trading at all on FOMC days. After Triple Q's huge move yesterday, anybody who made the good money off that could just chill out the day and wait, or wait till the end of the day and see what kind of stuff happens after the FOMC press conference, right? You don't have to stand in front of the train. We don't have to trade. Watching, again, is a whole strategy. Not telling anybody what to do with their money, just offering guidance, because we can just wait. We could just wait a while. We can just wait a while, right? We can just wait a while. All right. Let's go look at some more charts this morning. I wanted to go check out AMD. Did anybody get me an answer? Hey, Karen, and hey, Maria. Anybody get me an answer for Roblox? If their earnings is before market or after market tomorrow? I need to close it either way, though, because tomorrow starts my vacation, and I don't think I will have access to the internet at 4:00 tomorrow, or whatever time tomorrow. Maybe I'll have access during the day, but I want to make sure that I don't have a trade still going that should be closed off. If it's in the morning, okay, here we go. Roblox earnings. This is the earnings call transcript. I don't want to know that. Don't care about the earnings transcript. Maybe I should ask. Oh, where did you go? Roblox quarter. Would this be quarter 3 earnings? Maybe I can go to the Roblox page or something. Earnings whispers and company earnings. Why is Roblox not showing up? I asked for Roblox. Before market. Thank you, Tanya. Before market. That means I need to close today. Today. I need to close today. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that so much. All right, this is AMD. This is what AMD has going. Let's go to look at the pre-market. It is, it ran up real big right into the close. Ooh, that last hour. Many times though, when it does this, it pulls back for earnings, but it didn't in this case. Let me see, where is the pre-market number? Where we at on pre-market? Oh, we're currently right here. 149 looks like. We're currently at 149. Yesterday, did we close at 149? No, we didn't close there. Close. It's like we're right where we were. 145 is where it closed, but it's at 149 now. So it's up about $4 in the pre-market. That's AMD. Now, if you're a semis, a tech guy, we got a tech guy on the call. I believe he's here. He hadn't said nothing yet. Good morning, Jamie. If you're a techie dude, AMD, Taiwan Semiconductors, those are the ones that I would be looking at. NVIDIA, I feel like NVIDIA is now, oh my God, it's just my NVIDIA put credit spread is what was busted yesterday. It might be coming back. Hey, there we go. Come on back. I had 110, 111, and that mug fell till, you see this foolery? I was like, 106, where are you going? Well, it looks like it fell down into the 90s. What was the low of this candle? The low of that candle, 100.01. Talk about manipulation. Y'all hear that? This candle, the low of yesterday was 100.01. Like it went directly to $100 and bounced back. That's those psychological numbers. And it has bounced back in the post-market. So all the people who lost their shorts yesterday, all this drop off right here. And then after the market closes, it comes back and blazes back up to where it started almost yesterday. Y'all see how they do. It's a dirty game. It's a dirty game. Thank you, Missy NM. It's a dirty game out here. So the people who are trading options, if you were trading calls, you end up losing your money. But the people who waited drop all here and buy shares and then run it. Anyway, I decided to leave my put credit spread until, because it doesn't expire until Friday. I was like, it's only Tuesday. I'm gonna have to just hold on just a little while longer. I was like, let me hold on. So I'm glad I held on, because I was gonna pay to get out yesterday and was like, I still got a few more days. Let's let some theta decay help it, and let's see if sometime the way this kind of fall, it's got to hit a support zone somewhere. Looks like it did. It hit support 1 and came right on. Come on back. So if it gets to where it can close today, a sister gonna be deuces, right? Anyway, okay, that's NVIDIA. Who else did we have? We were gonna look at Microsoft. We're gonna look at Microsoft. Y'all see this monster? This was Microsoft's end of the day candle. Earnings, painful earnings. It has come back though a good bit of the way. I mean, Microsoft's a strong company, so it doesn't matter. Like people who trade earnings. There was a girl in one of the chats, one of the like a messenger group I'm in, and she had made a comment about if was anybody trading earnings, and Microsoft or what trading earnings, and she was like she was gonna wanted to minimize risk, and I replied back and was like, minimize risk and earnings is like an oxymoron. So she had a response about, how you can minimize risk by size and playing both sides. And all those things are true. And so when she would send that response back, I just put LOL. And the LOL really was for my own comment about anytime I feel like whenever you trade earnings, you're literally, that's almost like the opposite of risk management, because earnings, in my opinion, and it's just that, my opinion, is like lotto. I feel like when you trade earnings, you're literally, trading lotto. Now, if you trade both sides, you can, definitely, that's probably the only way you could call it not really a lotto, is to trade like a straddle or a strangle. You'd have to do something like that in order for it not to feel lotto-ish. But even if you do that, you're going to put a bunch of money on the table because of the fact that the IV is usually up. So it's going to be more expensive to do that than just to wait till it's over. But anyway, so my LOL was for my response, and she responded back and said, I don't know what's funny. There's ways you can minimize risk. I found it funny because earnings and risk management don't, to me, seem like the same thing. That, again, my opinions, young lady, don't be so serious. Because I'm not. That's what happens when you're, anytime you're talking online and you don't already know the people and they don't already know you, things can be misconstrued. So That's how that went. Good morning, Ward. That's how that was. So we see Microsoft, but Microsoft has come back. It's coming back anyway. It's at 418. I think that's 418. I think that's an 8. It might be a 6. 4.6 and some change. It fell off a pretty good bit. It actually closed that was the earnings call, I think. What was the close of yesterday's candle? Let me go back to a daily candle and see what was the close of yesterday. The close of yesterday was 422 and it is now at 415. So it's $7 down currently from, this is the pre-market over here, from where it was. Okay, so I looked at, let's go look at SPX. Go check out SPX. Oh my goodness. I need to figure out how to turn off that chat. There's a chat at church. They're trying to get people to invite people to, we have a series every summer and it's called ETV Jams. So instead of like MTV Jams, it's ETV, and they take a popular song and minister from that popular song. But because they use a popular song, the service doesn't get streamed, live. It doesn't get streamed online. It gets streamed. You have to come in person. So they want it's a good way to get people who maybe haven't been to our church before to come, because it's an entertainment thing, even though it's a very seeker friendly series. So now they're asking people who have invited people, and now everybody who's responding with all the people that they've invited is coming through this chat. So I can't get out of the chat though, because it's a serve team chat and I'm an usher at church. So I can't get out of the serve team chat because I'm on the serve team, but I don't want to get all the dings. I guess I could turn off the notifications, but then I won't get the notifications that I do need. I lie. The conundrum. This is the conundrum of things. Anyway, this is SPX. Let me stay on task because I feel like I'm not on task. I'm not feeling all that great this morning. I don't know if y'all can tell that. I don't feel all that great. I don't think I slept all that well. And anyway, I don't feel all that good this morning. So this is SPX. This was yesterday, even though this looks a whole lot like Triple Q. It's almost the same thing. Fail and fail. For those who were watching, I know my XSP trade finally closed at the end of the day. I had an iron condor, my daily iron condor, which I almost closed earlier in the day, but I decided I was going to stop stepping in front of the bot. That I was going to let the bot do it's a hands-free. I was going to let the bot do its job, which is that when it enters trades, it will enter today for tomorrow, basically 1 DTE. And on the next day, if the trade is worth the one side, PCS or call credit spread is worth $5, it'll close it on its own. It's already set to close. And at the end of the day, at 3:45, if that order has not closed, yeah, I do. If the order has not closed, it will change it and it will close where it's at. Basically, it will edit the order and it will close it at its current value at 3:45, which is fine. That's what it's supposed to do. So yesterday I left it to do as it's supposed to do. Yeah. I was writing myself a note this morning, Janae, of the 5 things that are a priority, and it's too many things because each of them is a big enough thing to be its own thing. And I've made all 5 of them a priority. 5 things can't be a priority, like not all 5. But anyway, and then I'm frustrated about the fact that I cannot get into my sam.gov account. I tried to get in a few different ways and I cannot get in. And the phone number that's attached to my sam.gov is a phone that I no longer have because it got broken. So these are the things that are waffling around in my head. And my students have their test today. So today is test day, final test. All the things. And I'm going to try to go on vacation today. Tomorrow. Vacation is tomorrow. I'm trying to go. But I got to get prepared today to go tomorrow. Too many things. As you said, a lot going on. SPX, back to where... What are you doing? Everywhere. Where's our support? Oh, this gap yesterday got filled. I put this gap on yesterday morning. Y'all remember me putting this little gap on yesterday morning when we were on the call? And yesterday's price action went right on down there and got it. Went right on down there and got the gap. So if this is filled now down here by yesterday's price action, and it tried to go back into this gap that's down here. It ran into it went down to the 25% mark again and turned back. The gaps. A lot. Okay, so maybe today we'll have some rotation. Let me go to SPX 500 and see where we currently are. Y'all probably getting confused just trying to keep up with all the stuff I'm talking about. Like, you are one thing to another. We trying to talk about the stock market. 5503 looks like is where SPX 500 currently is. So we're over the 5500 mark. All right, let's go to SPY. SPY is probably going to look the same way that SPX looked. And it's very similar. Everything was going down yesterday. Everything. In the pre-market, though, SPY is at 548, looks like. Yeah, 548.81. It is now recovered all of this. It closed down here yesterday at 542? And it's now at 548. It went right back through. So, maybe it's going to go into this gap. It might tap into the gap. Let's go for a smaller time frame and see if it's right at that gap that I put on this chart. Might be trying to tap in. It's right at it. Now the gap will provide some resistance, but it's right at the gap, and it may go on through because it does that sometimes, right? It'll push in like it did. This was a little bitty gap. But if it's a big gap, and this gap is between 540, let's see what this is. 548 and some change all the way up to 553. I think that is a 553. It's a pretty good gap. That's like 5 points, but it's right at it. So SPX pushing 5 points, SPY pushing 5 points is not unheard of. Now, what is going to be interesting is the fact that it's FOMC day. So to push through on an FO, and it could just really do that like after the announcement. Doesn't have to do it, in the morning. It can definitely push through this gap sometime today. Doesn't have to be first thing, but that's the gap. And we've got the levels in there. There's a resistance level right in the middle. So that will play its role too. SPY, Triple Q, we looked at them. Let's see what IWM was trying to get going yesterday, but everybody else was falling off the bone. But notice here how everybody else had a huge red day, and IWM was a doji. IWM didn't have all those same issues. Part of that gap is filled, but not all of it. It's a good bit of it though. Anyway, IWM was still like doji, and it didn't fall off the bone like those other ones, which is indicative of the strength of IWM. Though it didn't get moving, it didn't like work opposite. It didn't fall anywhere near like SPY and Triple Q did, mainly because it's not as tech heavy, and tech is what fell off so bad yesterday. Current price is, I want to say that's 223. I think when I come back, I'm going to go back to the eye doctor because it feels like my eyes will work sometime, but it's almost like I could be wearing my glasses and I can feel my eyes just deciding they're not going to do right anymore. Like, what we got glasses for? You're not going to do right. Okay. I am, of course. All right. Have a good day. Be safe out there. Love you. Okay. So that's that. What else do we have to look at this morning? Do we have anything else we wanted to look at? This is Amazon. You was in Google, wasn't you, Tanya? Did you get out of your Google yesterday, Tanya? Google's been kind of just doji too. It didn't fall off bad yesterday, though. Y'all see this? It didn't like fall. But I told y'all a couple of days ago that a call credit, the iron condor, was going to be could be a good move for Google, and it's so far holding steady. It's currently at 172 and 174 and some change. So this 175, depending on if you got the call credit spread side. it may not, you might need to go ahead and watch. You may need to watch that. XLC. Hey, Stacy. How you doing? XLC. Yeah, Jamie. I can tell you're one of Jamie's friends because Jamie loves the XLs. XL. It's currently at, I think that's at 85. 85 and some change. Maybe 66. Going right on through this gap. I hope you're trading the gap, Stacy, or you were trading the gap because it went right on through it. It's going right on. Chug, 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 chug. Filling the gap. The last 2 days, it's been filling it. It's got a little bit. Well, actually, it's filled it now. And the pre-market action has filled the gap. It's now, but I don't know if it's going to jump now. It may create another gap. May gap up. If you look at, pre-market or whatever, some people don't consider pre-market feels as gap feels. It kind of depends on your leanings. There's a gap up here. So maybe it'll chug its way on up. If I was trading XLC as a seller, I'd get below this gap. If I was going in as a seller, that's like 83 though. So it may not be a lot of money down there now because current price is at 85 and some change. But there is definitely some resistance up in here. This is where the pivot point is. It's actually above that pivot point. So I'd go up to the next one, which is the top of this gap. And there is a sit down right in here. Let me see if we change this to a line chart. There should be something right here. Y'all see how it just kind of pauses right there? Let you know there is resistance in this area. It is beyond that now in the pre-market. So depending on how it comes, it may come back and bounce off this and use it for support. But it's got resistance above it at 86. So between 85 and some change and 86 and some change, this is right in between. It is currently in between those two zones. So however you're trading it, you want to keep that in mind. Okay. I know. Headed to work. I am too. As soon as I get off this call, I'll be going to starting on my 45-minute ride, at least 45 minutes if the traffic cooperates. Okay. Here we go. The free resources, the free E2T resources can be found at e2tfreebies.com. e2tfreebies.com. You can go over there and get access to all of the resources that I've created. I want to make sure I put that over in Instagram as well. I can't see you. There we go. e2tfreebies.com. You can see all of the stuff that has been created. Let me go back to the screen so I can see what I need to see. There we go. Told you I was going to go through this more regular. Chart your way to 100K, your charting cheat sheet. If you need a charting webinar, and which I think a lot of people do, please don't, minimize the fact that chart, you can see what's happening in the chart. It will help inform you on entries. It will help inform you on when to exit, when not to exit, because you can look at the chart and see that there's you can look at the chart and see that there's things happening that are going to show that your trade is fine, or your trade is recovering, or your trade is not going to be fine. But you need to be able to look at the chart and see some technical analysis, right? Price did not droop. Okay. And so you didn't, I think it's the thing what you run into, same thing I'm running into is my snow and Roblox. Those are both, those are already, they should be like the premium should be drawing up because of their time has passed, but they're not drawing up as fast because the implied volatility is high and the VIX is high. So where things would normally be, the premiums would normally be depreciating, they're not doing that as fast. So just keep an eye on it, which I know you will anyway. You'll keep an eye on it anyway. You got the free charting webinar. You can go in here, 7 mistakes traders make that keep them from making 7 figures. Definitely. I'm telling you, there's 3 more that will blow up your account quicker than the other 7. If anybody's ever, I made a post the other day that said, if you traded for any length of time and you've not used a chart, you have probably blown up an account, because that happens, right? Blowing up account is something that's just goes with the territory. So just know that that's not unusual, and don't feel like you got anything wrong with you, because even the best traders, if you listen to them, if they're transparent enough, they'll tell you that they've blown up accounts too. All right. So if you've blown up an account, then you are among the finest. Okay, just know that you're among the finest traders. You're well on your way to being 100% successful. You got the 0 DTE strategy cheat code, best trading strategy for you. Stock options for beginners, a quick start guide, 5 hacks for trading SPX, E2T membership, and the website. And if you want to join our Telegram group, you can do that there as well. All at e2tfreebies.com. Okay. I did create something the other day. I created today. One of the people in our I think I should have been there. Yeah. One of the people in our community said that as I go through the different things, I'm talking about different products and such, and it was kind of confusing. So that it could be, maybe there should be a learning list for those who are with different stages of your learning trek, right? So I put together this learning list. That's encouraging, I guess. Yeah, it's encouraging a little bit. So if you're a complete newbie and you don't know much about options, you don't know much about trading options, then you should, look into the Options 411 for newbies. It is a $17 little mini course that I have. I am going to run the Options 411 boot camp. Yeah, it's like 6 weeks boot camp. I'm going to run that in August. So, but get the Options 411 for $17 to see if options, if it's something you're even interested in, right? But I'm going to run that next month. Then if you're not a newbie, but you're, still learning and you haven't leaned in very well to your chart, then you want to do, yeah, that would be great. I could call it a start here too. That'd be great, Saida. You have wonderful ideas. You always do. And number 2 would be a start with the chart, right? We need charting. You can start with the chart with the free webinar. There's also a start with the chart. I think it's called Chart Your Way to 100K full training course that you can use that will get you learned in charting, which I think is completely necessary. Before you even really get like into a strategy per se, you do need to understand how to read charts. And then I have trading strategy for you. So you need to determine which trading strategy or which strategy really suits you, right? Which strategy really suits you. And then after and that's a free, trading strategy for you.com. I think I put that trading strategy for you.com. It's not going to, Facebook is not going to like that link, but YouTube will. And then after you are clearer on a strategy, then you go and lean in on the specific strategies. We've got the credit spreads masterclass, cash secure puts, covered calls, debit spreads. That covers the gamut. If you're a buyer, you got debit spreads. If you're a seller, you got credit spreads, selling puts and selling covered calls. You've got the gamut covered. Of course, everything is available at educator2trader.com, but I wanted to make sure that depending on where you are in your learning journey, this is a way that you can, you'll know what things to do, right? I'm going to change the name. I agree with Saida. It could be a start here because there needs to be a start here. And I used to when I first started coaching, I went straight with credit spreads. We went straight to credit spreads. And initially I only taught people, I only was, I'll say seeking or marketing. I was only marketing to the people who were already ready for credit spreads. And I determined there were people who wanted credit spreads, but they didn't have the background information. So I had to then start stepping back to teach the things that were beforehand, which is how Options 411 got started. I can give Jamie some of that credit, only some, because he can't get all the credit because y'all know how he is. But anyway, I'll give him some of the credit because he for a long time would talk about, Alyssa, there has to be something for beginners. There has to be for beginners. And I was like, I don't want to, no. And I fought it for a long time and then realized I really needed to go back and teach beginners. So that's where we are. And that's what we do. That's how we started with Options 411 that we've run, I want to say 6 or 7 times now. We've run the Options 411 cohort. I think we're on cohort 6 now. We will be when we do it in August. So anyway, that's the process to that. So if that wherever you are in the journey, these are the things that you hook up with in order to make sure that you're up and running. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our declaration because we're about 12 minutes out from the market opening. If you are in impact, if you're looking to enter the impact and join impact investments, I've talked about a couple times. TJ was on Friday with us. That the code for the free month is going to expire today at midnight. The code for the free month is expiring today at midnight. So if you wanted to get in for a month free with impact, you are going to need to use that today. Right? If you haven't already, you need to use it today. I'll put it in the comments. But they have a call. I mentioned yesterday in our Telegram, they have a call every day. It's at 9:45-ish, and they're on that call till they need to get off. And basically, generally, it can be around noon. Sometimes it goes longer. It all depends. And people are just listening and with what's going on with the call. Of course, my call is over, so I'm over there until I can't be over there, which is usually when I start to teach. But in the impact investments, you can go use this code I just put in the chat, and you can go get a month for free and see if it's something you're interested in. Much of it is for buying, but again, I'm over there, so there is a selling aspect as well. I really like the educational piece that TJ is and JT are really good at doing some coaching and training and really talking about what do they see. They give a lot more information as to FOMC, all the different economic stuff. TJ has an economics background, so he's one who can talk a lot more deeper about economy stuff than I ever can. And I don't know how much I even want to learn about it, but he definitely already knows that stuff. Okay, so that's the link in the chat if you're interested in that. So here we go with our declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My accounts growing more and more each week. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war and our fingers to fight. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. All righty. So we're off and ready for a big day in the market. Again, I will caution you that you trade wisely because there's a lot of volatility in the market today, and watching is a strategy. Okay. Listen to FOMC, watch FOMC, see what's being said. See how the market responds to these different pieces of information. And again, our number one goal is to preserve capital. We want to grow our money, but we also want to keep the money we have so we don't trade when we don't have to. All right. Okay, everybody. I will see you all in the market. We're going to do two things today. We're going to stay green. We're going to get this money. All right. Have a great green day, everyone. Goodbye, everybody.